I want to read something again. Not this thing I'd done before, but somebody left a book. We had people staying here. I can't see a thing anyway. So. No, this is a famous yeah, I can't see well. Well, whatever. So it's a famous, you ever hear this? It's the Ashtra Vakra Gita. This was one of the first sort of non-duality scriptures. Yeah. Uh, the heart of awareness. And this guy listens to this other guy. No, no, it's okay. It's the point I want to get across isn't what the person says, it's how the head reacts to reading what the person says. So it's this king meets this weird guy called Janaka. That means he's got like seven limbs going the other way. He's like a deformed character, but he's seemingly whatever. We're all awake, but here in this dream, he's awake. So he meets the king, and then the king just listens to Satsang and he gets triggered, yeah, gets lit up. And then they start describing, like, all the dualities, and they're not bothered by them. Yes. See, but when people read it, they think the person was not bothered by them. Yeah. Like the guy, the king or Janaka. And so when they hear it, it becomes another one of those subtle orders. Yes. And then people now start thinking they can do whatever they want. Yeah, because it doesn't matter because there's nothing ever really happened. But try it and then sit in jail for a while. And your subjective experience might suck. It really will. Yeah. So the when you read something or hear something, it's best to see what arises. You know, first the hearing of the words, something arises. Yeah, there's something that's already here, which is awareness. Yeah, and then something arises that isn't here, but appears to be in time. And that thing is interesting to see its reaction to these scriptures. Yeah, because it can only see it from a body position. And it's thinking, man, this is going to be really cool if I had all these qualities. And but the biggest, what opened up the possibility of those qualities was the loss of interest in the conditional being, the person. Yes. So, and when you've lost interest in it, when you read things, it has a different impact. It does. It's not another order. It's not another sublime requirement, and that I'm going to be on a tightrope trying to keep that condition, straight and steady. No, it's you watch what arises that sees it that way, and then you see it's not you. That's the message. Yeah. And the best stuff to bring out that stuff out of the weeds is non-duality, at least to my humble, I haven't scanned the scriptures of millennia. I'm just talking about what I ran into. A lot of things never even magnified the idea of you. It was just going to be an add-on. You would fill certain requirements, and somehow, as what you're not, you'd become a better what you're not. But in this case, you read or something, or you hear something, and something arises. Yeah. Now, if something arises, that's not you. You have never left. You're never going to recognize your entrance because you never left. Yes. You can't get it. You cannot get it. You're here, completely here right now. So, yeah. So no matter how fast you thought you got it, you've never, you're before that. Yeah. So you read something like this, and it it will definitely trigger uh, different stuff to show themselves. Yes. And when they do, you can see it's not you. That's the point. Yeah. That's the point. Satsang. All of these things want to bring out that stuff that's in the weeds so that you can recognize it from awareness, not from Paul, who thinks that he's aware and most of the time is completely unaware that he's not Paul. But yeah. So I can't see it because the light isn't good enough. But I've read this before, and it talks about the king feels great, like, hey, so all the shit I thought matters doesn't matter. Yeah, okay, yeah, but it still matters to that which thought everything matters. Yes, yes, and so, and what's going to try to get the message is not you. Yeah, because you knows your whole it's upon having never left. That's the condition of non-duality. It is not the quickest arrival possible, the quickest, the shortest route. There's no route and there's no arrival. The fact is, you are what you are, what you are, no matter what the head thinks. Yeah, yeah. So how are you going to recognize somewhere you've never left? Yeah. It's impossible. Yeah. It's like really, it's like truly like the fish probably has no idea of water, really. It's completely immersed in it. And it may even read books about water. It may even think, I'm a dry fish. I've got to have an experience of water. I read water is refreshing. You feel cleansed. It wakes you up. Shit, I got to get me some water. All the while in the water. Yeah, this is what they say. This is why they use these little examples. It's so obvious. And you know what? You're not going to become so obvious to get it. You're not. Yeah, that's the beauty of it. You are going to see you looking for what you are with what you are is like a big thumb sticking out. You're going to see it. Yeah, not from it. You never see it from it. You see it from awareness. Yeah. And in fact, the only place you've ever seen anything from is from awareness. What happens in time, everything gets claimed and things that and then they suddenly get de-emphasized or emphasized. So in a matter of a second or two, you've built a world in a sense. Yeah. And you're the inhabitant of it. Yeah. And that's the starting point, but that wasn't the starting point. The starting point doesn't start when the gun shoots in time. It's before. Yeah. And so time can never get before that which is before time. It can't. Yeah. So you now are at the you upon having never left, you see everything that believes it left, and it also believes it can go back. Yes, and you see the falsehood of it. That's all. And then every time it gets ready, marshals itself to get ready and try a new radical whatever. There's going to be add-ons to non-duality for sure. Tantric non-duality. They're gonna splice shit up, sew it together and present it. Yeah, but that's like putting you know lipstick on the pig and legs on the snake. That's what it is. So I'm sorry you're not going to get it. I mean, I bet you would donate more if you thought you could get it. And you would really probably maybe buy me a house in Mexico in the next few months because they'll be cheap if you thought you got it. I do. I mean, you would have so much. I'm so grateful for Paul, but there ain't a Paul. Yeah. It's just really, we're just pointing out the obvious. That's all. And really, we're pointing out the obvious and then we're warning about what happens because in time, something happens where there's a claiming of the conscious event called conscious contact. And that claiming is the beginning of the time world. Yeah. The dream seems as real as possible. It seems to go sluggish or quick. It da 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 da. And you recognize the dream at night only because you woke up in the morning. Yeah. If you didn't have a wake up in the morning, you would be taking that as real can be. Yeah, you would. Just like we're taking this as real could be. So remember Ramana in one of his statements that I've lost this the scriptures of Zen Bitslap, so I don't remember it so clearly. But he talks about the only requirement is to see the unreal from the real. Yeah, that's all. Yeah. Now, it's impossible if the unreal tries to see the real, but it's very easily possible that the real can see the unreal. Yeah. The unreal cannot see the real, but the real can see the unreal. And that's in one of his lovely rants, he said, seemed to be logical. He talked about the mystery and and then everyone da 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 realization and all the only requirement there is, which means this is the only requirement, is you to see the unreal from the real. Well, you're already doing that. You just thinking it's real down the timeline. You are seeing the unreal from the real all day. But in time, it gets switcherooed. The unreal now takes itself to be real, and now it hides the reality by using it to look for what it thinks is reality, all the while being the reality itself. It could not do that if there wasn't time. And there seems to be in time, there's time in the dreaming. Time you can forget the unforgettable. Yeah. And time you can remember the forgettable. That's it really. Yeah. So it's not a joy like bliss. If I want bliss, I'll put some kirtan on, yeah, and dance around, put my arms up, and fucking yeah, fantastic. It's not like a bliss. It's more like an emptiness that allows everything to come in and out. Yes. Yeah. It doesn't ask anything to stay because it knows everything that comes goes. So there's just coming and going, coming and going. Sometimes you're blissed out. You don't call anyone when you're blissed out because you know it's going to go. Just like I'm not going to call anyone when I'm super bummed out because I know that's going to go. It's just going to go. Why make a note of something that's passing? It just seems crazy. Yeah. So, and you can see because you've seen it. You as still and you watched the message of satsang get greeted by what you're not. I've seen it. I've seen what it does. It arises, and let's say it has a hint that there is no doer. Immediately goes, that means I'm going to lay on a couch all day. This is the logic. I've seen it in Germany. I've seen it in Spain. I've seen it in New York at meetings. It's not an unusual reaction. When the head hears the news that there may not be a doer, it says, well, I'm going to take tons of acid then or do this. But it doesn't mean you were a doer until that fucking very moment that you're not a doer. There's never been a personal doer. That's what it means. So all the shit that you didn't do and did do wasn't done by you. It's like, this is what they think. I was a doer, doer, doer. I heard the message. I'm not a doer. What's going to happen now? I'm going to eat a lot of acid and lay down in my couch all day. What the hell? I can't do that. I got to go to work. This is, I've seen it. So this is what triggers it, the message of non-duality. Most other messages, it's all familiar to this headspace. It just goes with it. Oh, it will sign up for a 50-year program to become something you already are. It will. And it will willingly accept that it's going to take lifetimes to finally arrive at the the light of all lights. It loves it. Yeah. It just wants to keep putting it off. Yeah. But non-duality has a different effect. It brings shit out, yeah, and doesn't dance with it. So the head comes up and it doesn't immediately have a partner and starts dancing in the dualistic dance. You see it, yeah, and then you see the emperor, and then you realize the emperor has no clothes. And then all the time the emperor spends in wearing clothes doesn't convince you it has clothes. You now know it doesn't have any clothes, even if it's wearing clothes. Yeah. It's over. It's something has. We have a statement in AA. You may have to go to any lengths. Now, of course, everybody thinks they're going to be huge lengths, but any lengths means no length. Yeah. You may need to go to no length. And this is the non duality speed because it's so quick, because it never happened and it never needs to happen because it already is. Yeah. That it happens before time even starts. Yeah. So. Yeah. Maybe I would have been stopped in Mexico, and instead of getting out of the car, I'd start driving them and become a fucking gringo working for the new technology cartel. Who knows? I have no idea. Maybe be their spiritual advisor. Who knows? I mean, seriously, I could have gotten out and ran, or I could, that doesn't, none of it makes me anything. Yeah. It may make me a hero for a day, but nothing, what you are is never made into anything else. Yeah. Yeah. Uh, so I'm happy I don't have the light to read it, but if you want to read it, it's the toughest word I've ever tried to say. So every time I try to say it, it's Vakra Gita, the heart of awareness. And it's a conversation between a character named Jan. I think I'm just trying to remember. I think it's Janaka, and then there's the king, or the king may have been Janaka. But they're just having a talk, and the king gets it. Just the beauty of non-dual of satsang. Yeah, just wax, and then he starts going off, and then uh, he probably gets reprimanded when the book ends. Because there's still a sense of him that's now not taking care of, doesn't give a shit about everything and stuff like that. This is not going to be the gift. Yeah. Yeah. You're probably not going to become a person who doesn't give a shit about anything. You'll probably give a shit about a lot of things, but you're not the one who's giving a shit about a lot of things. That's the thing. Yeah. It's different. For you to be what you are, there doesn't need to be a huge amount of changing in what you're not. It may, yeah, but it could go on just as it's going on because now it's sort of like when it was the big zoom, you were pretty much excluded, and you're still excluded when it's a little zoom box. It's really not taking many things other than itself into consideration. And but it's nicer when you see it in a lower field or a smaller field, because then you see something. Yes. When you see how small it is, but it thinks it's very, very big. So we're here to serve. Yeah, seriously. It's like a seed assignment. Do you think I want to do this? I'd rather be painting my face and going to Peru and doing the biggest dose of ayahuasca because I would do the biggest dose of heroin and cocaine. So it would look the same way. And then be able to have an experience that I wasn't there, but I'm still here. And then I'd have a blog and you'd be following me. Yeah. And it would be like serpents and shit. Yeah. But that was put to a rest. I saw a guy in 2000 because I heard about ayahuasca a long time ago. And so I was in Australia and I had a curiosity about it. So I went to a big meeting out in away from the town. And the town was the biggest spiritual town, whatever that we could be in Australia, Byron Bay. Yeah, it was the yoga capital. Yes, there was like covens of goddesses, with shawls and perm hair, and it was a huge event. So I went there, and all the heavyweights of the town were there, and they had some guy from South America, I imagine. And he started talking, and he was talking a lot of different philosophies, and then he started doing qigong, showing some qigong stuff. And then they said, "We're going to pass the marijuana," and I didn't do drugs or something at that point. And so I didn't take any. And then I realized I don't, this isn't for me. But I went there and check it out. Then I left and I never really thought about it. But then it became incredibly possible. And what I really like is, the painting of the face and shit like that. Just, be something other than, this is what was killing me in Mexico. You know, I was at the watering hole with all the hippos, but I'm just a very thin hippo. Yeah. It's just, I'm an old dude that's become invisible to most people. And I still have a stubbornness in me. I don't want to be like the hippos. I don't want to be sitting there, wondering who's going where, like I refuse. I'd rather go, I don't know. So it was just funny. Yeah. This is quite ordinary, really, because you're not moving away or towards. You're really not. Your that drive to escape is smoked out. Yeah. So wherever you are, you're really there, like really here. Yeah. So yeah, I'm happy to be back. Felt like uh whatever. Just happy to see some people. Yeah. All right. So you wanna anyone? Mike Clark, you have anything to say for yourself? Uh Kathleen, anybody? My iCloud is full.
I might have what I appreciated what just when we were over the weekend in the middle of all that weirdness and some people are so upset and some people are bored to death. I mean, it was kind of strange, strange extremes of experience people had. But it was fun. It was fun having how do I describe this? Having action figures interact, because I've seen you so much this way,
Yeah.
and then we just like tell jokes and we do this and we do that and we do dumb shit and whatever, boil eggs, whatever it is, and it's so much it's different. I mean, it's different than it used to be, I guess, and it's certainly different than the kind of reaction I have with or interaction I have with most people. So I don't know what that means or anything. Probably nothing, but
Yeah. People are threatening for me to do a talk, but
yeah, I don't know.
Amelia wanted to put a kibosh on.
We're on vacation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, don't start. Oh, I can feel the satsang starting. Don't.
Yeah, it starts coming up.
I'm happy I have this refuge. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because seriously, how much can you talk about, really? Yeah. How much can you talk about? It's just like everything is, I know it's the cover for real a sense of community and sense of belonging, but that is really rooted in the sense that we're separate, really. This belief
Right.
we're separate, therefore a huge desire to feel like we belong. Yeah. But that feeling like we belong, searched for in a weird way, the head uses it to verify the imaginary separation. Yes.
Self. Hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
the only way you would want to belong is if you felt you did it. Yes. Yeah. So it's a trip. And the head, even though that sense of specialness can maybe last for 80, 90 years, yeah, it's hanging on by a thread after a while because it's just a regurgitation. It's rethinking, rehashing, resenting, re-feeling. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have an infinite loop. So you run into narratives that you heard before many times, many times. It's just, it's just, it doesn't have an infinite supply of tapes. Yeah. So
And it does kind of wear itself out.
it wears, and we see it now. The machines are living longer than they used to, and they're it's like the springs are flying, springs are flying out. It just they just remember when you had a tape cassette and you played it too long and then it would get and then you would constantly use the pencil and try to tighten it up, but sooner or later it was it just there was no unstretching it again. It just had stretched. You couldn't unstretch it. So for me, in this world of finite, it's wonderful to have a sense of the awness, the AWENESS of things that don't start or stop or whatever. Yeah, just have a few breaths of that a day can just like humidify you. Just keep you, yeah, yeah. So I don't know if I would like not attending satsang or sharing. I don't know. Yeah. I feel it's to me, the message of non-duality has a support system, which is satsang. Yeah. So satsang in this place, in this streaming of time and space, the support system is satsang. Yeah. So the head uses repetition to do what it does. So we have used repetition, yeah, and surrendered it to another purpose. Yeah. So repetition. So 5 days a week, years. Basically, one of the first edicts I got was uh, don't move from this point because if you don't see this, you're looking from it. It was a super clear thing. So if you listen to a 16-year talk and now it's probably quite similar. Yeah. Could you imagine if someone who was an ayahuasca teacher had that every trip was quite similar? They, Jesus Christ. So the whole point is new experiences. If it was the same old, who the fuck wants that after a while? But in fact, this is non-duality. Non-duality, there's nothing new in non-duality in 2026. It's the same. You're not going to get it. It's basically nothing to you, really. And so watch the head try to make it something because that's the only thing it can do with nothing. It tries to make it something. So now suddenly all those unseen, let's say, rivers, you recognize them now as they're not coming from the source. Yeah. I mean, and SOURCE, not SAUCE. They're not coming from the source. Yeah. Ultimately they are, but they're not. They're like streams of mentalness. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So satsang to me is all I've been doing since whatever And I never really did much with non-duality. I flew some places like India, yeah, but just went a couple of satsangs, read a book. I had all the information already of the failure of spirituality. It had been used as a bat to beat myself up with for fucking years. So I had enough of that. It was just, and all it was, the kindling was there, but the match was off. Yes, yeah, and non-duality was the match. I heard it. I listened to it. It landed somewhere. It brought me to a lot of conclusions. Yeah, and of course, people go through stuff like they lose interest and that scares them. Because they believe they were invested in a way this life and everything, and it's scary to the head when there's a loss of interest in it because it needs all these things to rest upon because it doesn't have any legs on it that it can stand on its own. So everything that it greets or meets, it wants to identify with somehow. Yeah. And so there's the loss of interest. And then you don't understand. Yeah. And this sets off warnings, but really they're awesome when you don't understand. Yeah. When you realize you're not going to get it, yeah, that's not a clarion call to do more. It's to stop. Yeah. That's all. You just stop and see what's going on. And it relies on the fact that you already are what you're looking for. That's why there's not libraries of non-duality. There's not massive scriptures of non-duality. There's not. I mean, you could put the message of non-duality on a matchbook cover, really. It could be that simple. Yeah. So it doesn't have temples and temples and temples and stuff like that because it's nothing. It's just basically you are what you've been looking for. Yeah. Now maybe check out what you've been looking for. Yeah. And then see who is it that's looking for it. Because obviously, what's looking for reality must not believe it's reality. Or why would it be looking for reality? Yeah. And if the statement of non duality is being ourselves reality, what you see as what you're not is that which is seeking reality. Because obviously, that which is seeking reality is not based on being reality, it's based on being something else. Yeah. And so, this is what brings the stuff up, the message of non duality and satsang. So you can see what you're not. That's the the event of all events here in this time and space is you are the seeing of what you're not. That's it. Yeah. You are the seeing, which is the awareness of what you're not. You become aware of what you're not. Yeah. I'm sorry that the you think you are is included, but that's the fact. Yeah. You can throw out all the garbage, but you got to go with it. It's you're not. You're, like it wants to starve itself, it wants to purify itself, it will go on a fast. Yeah, but see, it's got to go in a way. Yeah. And it's like Ramana explained in that simple uh, example of the guy sitting in the movie theater and then recognizing the movie, meaning life, is a dream, is fake, but there's an assumption that he's real. And Ramana says you got to draw a bigger circle, and when that bigger circle is put, you're always in it. Yeah, that guy was not outside the dreaming that he was seeing in the movie. He's in it. We're all in it as this. Yes? Yeah. This is what the head would love when you're moved, yeah, out of this idea of time and space and then into awareness, let's say, the head puts a fence there. It fences it off and says, you're aware. Yeah. And now you have this little bit of awareness that's been claimed. at the expense of the giantness of awareness. So you are now aware. Yeah. And then it'll do it again. When that fence gets blown up, which it will put a stake in and like a rooster, sit there and go, oh wow, my awareness has opened up. Yes, I am seeing so much. Yeah. But it's sort of like, the guy said to me at the AA place in Mexico, he said, remember those days when they had uh, the smoking side of the room and the non-smoking side of the room, but there's no wall. So when they're smoking, there's no non-smoking side. You can't have a smoking side and a non-smoking side without a wall. Yeah. So it's there's one you're aware, or there's an awareness, yeah, of what you're not. Yeah, yeah. So I'm going to sit on the non-smoking side. Wow, it's very smoky over here. Must be really bad on the smoking side. So let's open it up. Hey,
David Down Under would like to come and say something.
who? Oh, David down on.
David.
Okay, come on, Dave.
Hi, Paul. Hi, everybody. Hi, Paul. Do you think, like what you just said, like a seeking a reality, do you reckon that a part of that or is like for me, it's like I used to have to know the answer to absolutely everything, and it seemed like everybody else had to have an answer for absolutely everything. Why is this person like this? Why is this? Why do some people die when they're young? It just cut like just went off sick like that. And I notice I've been noticing for a while now that I don't care about any of that as much anymore. But sometimes something inside here makes me feel guilty for not caring about any of that anymore. Does that make sense?
Yes, it doesn't make sense, but it's observable. Yes.
Yeah, it is.
And this is when the mechanism is sort of getting altered. This is a common thing. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just the last thing, last weekend I was a little bit had nothing to do, so I thought I'll go down to the local pub and I'll have a shandy because I don't like beer, but I don't know if you know what a shandy is, but it's half lemonade, half beer.
Yeah.
And in Australia, in a real man's pub, you really shouldn't drink them. It's not you're not drinking. But I do these vapes. I haven't smoked for a while, but I'm hooked on these vapes. And I walked out. There's a smoking room out the back. Always used to be a smoking room. It's out. It's out the back. There's no roof on it or anything. And I walked out the back door, and it's changed just this tiny little bit. It's changed. As you walk out the back door, it's got a sign there, smoking here, but non-smoking there. And there's no wall down the middle, exactly what you just said. And I pissed myself laughing. But there's only one difference. There is some ashtrays in that
Yeah.
part of the room,
Yeah.
but no ashtrays there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I observed this guy. He was really confused, I thought. He came to the door of out into that room, and he stood halfway in the door and vaped, blowing the smoke out into the smoking area, but he was really taking care of everybody inside, not to get any of the smoke back inside in the open door. I pissed myself when you said that about the smoking thing because I just experienced it. That was a ripper.
It's insane. It's insane. The whole place
Yeah.
is insane.
I felt a bit guilty because there was a couple of people out there trying to eat a meal and everything, and I'm 3 foot away from them on my side, blowing vape smoke everywhere. They're trying to eat a meal.
Like a room of thinkers, and then you put the people who are thinking good stuff and people who are thinking bad stuff. all the while, it's the thinker that's making all the problem. Yes.
Yeah. I do see that going on though with
Let me
my mum used
let me say something, David. Have you remembered a thought in your life for longer than a day or something?
have I remembered a thought for longer than a day or something? I'll answer it this way. I thought I have. You know,
Exactly.
like
Exactly.
here's an
But
interesting thing. I perceived for years that my mum treated me a certain way. And I perceived that I wasn't treated well, you know. And then it's only the last year or so that for some reason I perceive that totally differently than I once did. And thinking
yeah,
about my mother always brings a smile to my face now. It's
yeah.
it, it's like so I sort of do put a lot of stock in. I think you might have said once. I think it was you that said that. Well, I think you did for sure. That like past thoughts to me definitely is not reliable because I've been like down the line on what I've thought. That example, my mother was like, and I was in that for 25 years.
Yes,
And then
yeah.
it's totally different now. Yeah. And not just my mother, a lot of things, a lot of things,
Yeah,
Anyway.
it's remember like you would hate these certain people and then something happens and you're amazed how they've changed, but they haven't changed at all. It's just your thoughts change. But I'm saying this, you don't very rarely remember a thought, but the thinker is remembered constantly. Yeah. Like
Oh yeah.
thought, the being conscious of a thought is the remembering of the thinker. Yes,
I totally agree.
all day.
This
Yeah.
is just pictured there.
So
Like
do you think you need to forget thought or maybe forget the thinker? Obviously, it's
forget
the thinker. Yeah.
forget the thinker.
Yeah. But
I don't trust.
most people work on trying to change their thoughts, doing this, doing that, but the thinker is the whole, yes. But
Yeah,
whatever.
I totally don't trust the thinker. I don't dislike the thinker like this, but
Well,
I
there
don't
is no
trust.
thinker. It's hard to
Uh,
dislike. There, I haven't seen someone dislike, nothing for too long. Yes, yeah. Remember, there's not a thinker. That's a
yeah,
that's a noun that's been crowned, and yeah, it's not. There's thoughts, and then the head uses the thoughts to imply there's a thinker,
yeah.
which the thoughts are always quite often quite forgettable, but they're used to remember the thinker. Yes.
I know when even at work, and I've been doing this job for years and years and years, and when I'm functioning, what I say, when I'm functioning really well here, when work's flowing along and I'm just getting things done and that, there's not much thinking going on at all.
Yes. You're in the
It's just,
zone, so to speak. Yes.
yeah, which I believe happens a hell of a lot more than I,
What happened
well,
to me, Dave? Uh, at a certain period of time, I was a house painter. Yes.
yeah,
And I think a pretty good one, whatever. And as my career was coming to an end, I couldn't finish a bathroom. It was just unfucking believable. And I mean, it would take me days. It just couldn't. And I mean, and I'd be dreaming of a job that never ended because I could never finish the paint. I just lost, and then it would actually, in the dreaming at night, it appeared people who had hired me before couldn't believe how bad I was now. I swear to God, I completely forgot how to paint houses. It was amazing. It was,
I feel like
I
see
mean,
that what you
literally, I swear to God, they basically fired me, and I had gotten maybe 3 by 5 foot area done. It was just I just lost the whole script. It was incredible. So I got fired.
I feel like that's happening to me a little bit now with my work, believe it or not. I wondered, yeah,
Well,
it's like I've been painting
life
for
may
years.
have another thing planned for you.
I've been
Just
I've been
for
pa-
me.
I've been painting cars for years, and I find recently I'm Googling how to paint a car, you know.
I know it's trippy. I cannot believe it. And at night, I would have these dreams, really, that the job went on forever and it looked terrible. It was crazy.
Yeah.
It was crazy. So, luckily, life had another plan for me.
Uh,
Yeah, so, all right. Well, nice to see you, David. Yeah.
yeah, you too, Paul, and everybody else too.
Yeah, I'm very happy. We'll be here tomorrow morning, I think, too. Yeah, yeah. We'll be back on the horse again. It's more, I love satsang. It's a very, uh, I don't know if I could stay at a pool and talk about stuff the whole day, and with the hippo situation. But it's just, yeah. It's okay when there's an underlying sense of something, then you make everything a skit. Everything is it's like just make up stuff like I did with the hippo thing. I just, uh, but satsang is just another, it's like an oasis. It's very nice. Yeah. Nice to get together. And because I have have a statement in AA that captures a lot for me, which is everywhere, every time, really, there's a loving presence. There's a presence. Let's not give it a quality. There's a presence that is expressing itself through our group conscience. Yeah. So by us sitting together and hanging out, there's something else that gets noticed. Yeah. Yeah. Without trying. It's quite nice. Yeah. And I've seen leaps and bounds done, and no one, they may not even be wearing sweatpants. They're, a lot gets done by doing nothing. Really. Yeah. 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 So, anyone else?
I don't see any other hands, Paul, but I just wanted to let you know that you were missed. Live Zooms with you were missed last week.
Oh, great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll chime in. I kept looking on the website, hoping you were going to post that you were doing a
Ah,
pop-up.
I know. I could have really, but I let it go the way it was going to go. It was fine. Yeah.
Hey, can you there I was re-listening to some of your songs, and there was a story that was new to me. It was about the guy who has a bird on his hand.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Can you go into that again?
Yeah, sure. I'm
Thanks.
I'm like a lounge singer.
I know.
Uh, After midnight. Uh, uh, yeah, that one I heard from a Tai Chi teacher of mine in New York called Joe Lopez. I don't know if he's alive still, but after the class, he was the sensei, and he would give all these talks. So this one is there's a Chinese province, and there's an emperor or whatever, and the emperor wants to, or let's call him emperor. He wants to find out who's the best chunk master, like kung fu master or anything like that. So they're going to and he sets up a huge tournament, and it's in his court and everything, and all these people come, these guys that have these bronze rings, four rings on each, and they're doing tons of shit. People are flipping, doing quads, whatever, tons like this, breaking thing, and it's amazing, and all the people there amazing, watch, wow, and they're picking their own favorites, and then this old dude comes out, and he stands there, and he's got his hand out, and there's a sparrow in there, yeah, on it, and he just stood there for like 10 minutes waiting. The emperor got it, something, and then he walked off. So, okay. And then the 3-day event is over, and they're going to crown the greatest master of the province, whatever. And people thinking that guy with the bronze things, but it's the old man. So they bring out the old man. Everyone's bummed out. It'd be what the fuck, this old guy, and he trained the sparrow or something. And so he comes out, and the guy goes. The emperor says, "Emperor, explain what happened." He says, "All right, well, I had the sparrow, and the sparrow kept trying to fly away. Yeah. And it needs something to bounce off of. And I could feel it every time it was ready to fly. I just yielded. And therefore, it looked like the sparrow was just standing quietly on my hand, but it couldn't take off. It had you know what I mean? Like if you dive in a pool, you have the board, you got to do the thing. And so that was the beautiful thing. Yes. So he was yielding, and nothing looked like anything was going on, but an incredible thing was going on. Yes. And this is like the movement of nothing. Yeah. But it's incredible. It's incredible that people who were at one point ravenous for, let's say, experience are now satiated and content. Yeah. Things like that. It's because really many people here, they through the programming, they're looking for everything in what they're in, where a lot of stuff is from what we're of. Yeah. Yeah. And you can get a lot of stuff of what you're in, but you may be missing that little sense of what you're of. Yeah, as Jesus says, you're in this world, but you're not of this world. Yeah. Now, there's in, and then there's really being in. So there is degrees of inness. Yeah. And when that inness is seemingly you're submerged in it, then all you can look for is in, when really what we're looking for is of. Yeah. So we are what we're looking for. Yeah. We truly are. And when a little bit that gets leaked into your life, it allows, I find, a stable traveling lighter. And after years of going through things, traveling light is fucking pretty good. Yeah. Because you can't you can't rig the event. Yeah, you're gonna run into shit that's probably gonna be uncomfortable and everything. Unless you try to control everything and manage everything, you're pretty much going to. But what would happen if your traveling lighter isn't based on what you're traveling through? Yeah, that you are really outshining the circumstances and situations. Yes. So now that little quality of ofness, while being in, has the ability to override the in. Yeah. So the of, which doesn't look like much, it's nothing, literally. You can't see it or weigh it or shit. But that of goes a long, long way. And it allows you to travel lighter in the in. And the action figure is in the in. The action figure is not in the of. Yeah, it's in the in. Yeah. And it may want to arrive at the of, but it's only defined in the in. There is no action figure in the of. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I feel anyway. So yeah. So that's a nice little story. I liked it because you see these gargantuan things that are done and accomplished, but uh, that's why when they talk to some people like Ramana and stuff, you look at a person that's just sitting and they look like they're doing nothing. But Ramana and these people would say these people are doing so much in this vibratory algorithm, you know, deluge, yeah, by being still, they're doing a great service, yeah, but they look like they're doing nothing. Yeah. But we know a lot of people look like they're doing something, but there's a lot of chicanery and all that shit. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I'm happy to be here. Nice to hear from you, Zoe. Any other just I think we can everyone must know the golden oldie list of Zen Bitchai. Yes, knocking on heaven's door. The Poopa Scooper is one of my favorite. That is a multi targeting parable. It's very good. I don't think it'll ever be reprinted anywhere, but it's has a lot of meaning in there about a lot of stuff. It's like yeah, yeah. All right, thank you. I think if that's that, I'll say goodbye. I'm here with some folks, Mia and my great friend Ali and Mia. Two dogs. The dogs are here. And yes, Zoe, as always, pleasure. You got to come out here soon, Zoe. Yeah, drop in every once. Michael Clark, you're always welcome. Kerry, nice to see you, bro. Yes. Kathleen, yeah. David, down under. Yeah. Mary Champagne, nice to have you drop in. Nick, you look like you've swallowed the canary, Nick. That's good. Alan
Good to see
Olson,
you.
Alan Olson, Stephen Mack, my main man on Having Never Left. Chris H. Now, Chris H. right now looks like he's Santa Claus, but when you meet Chris H. alive, yeah, 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 he's yeah. Susan Harris, how are you doing, honey? You're somewhere in the world. All's well?
I'm here in Sonoma.
Oh,
Yeah.
in Sonoma now. Oh, great. Nice to
Mhm.
see you. Hari, you can't be at a dark retreat because you got some light in the room. You all's well?
I'm all right, Paul. Were you in Vallarta during all this stuff? I missed the first.
Oh, I was in Puerto Vallarta, right where it all happened.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm
yeah.
glad you got out. Were your flights delayed?
I didn't know. I was walking the street. The guy asked me if I had a match, and I said, yeah. And then he blew up the car. So I do feel a little bit had something to do with the whole situation.
It literally started before you got out of there?
No, yes, it started Sunday and we left Tuesday.
Oh, Paul, you're just made of armor.
Wow. Okay. I'm glad you're safe. Definitely.
I asked them for a job. They didn't give me a good enough price for it. So I said, forget it. Yeah. No, it was yeah, it could have gone way south. Yeah, it did in a number of provinces. They did it all over Mexico. Not that as far as I know, but this is where they caught him was in this province near Puerto Vallarta, I think. And so they were really uh, burning down the house. It was so it was and it's really going to have an impact because the whole place there is tourism.
Right.
I mean, almost completely. And yeah, so I'm sure people canceled their flights to drop in there. Yeah, yeah. So nice to see you, Harry. You should
Yeah.
let's talk in soon. In the next day or two, I'll call you. Yeah.
Sounds really good, Paul. Yeah, I do miss you a lot.
All right. Good. All right,
Yeah.
David, my man, David Bitterman. Nice to see you. Yes. Robert Crossman. I miss Robert Crossman. There he is, the little devil.
God bless you, man.
Yes. Nice to see you.
I'm glad you went down there and straightened that all out.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Yeah, I was the mediator. Uh, but I had a meet. I met some people in AA down there. It was pretty good, but I didn't get a chance to go to a meeting. But yeah. So James Olson and Alan Olson, nice to see both of you. Ernie, a little bit of willingness. Check out what's going on, eh? Yeah. See, before, like they say, before knowledge, there's knowing. Yeah. Knowledge is not a replacement for the knowing. Yeah. Yeah. And just like there's a knowing and the head does not want to know it. That's the dilemma. Yeah. Yeah. So we're basically here as an event. The emphasis is here. And this here doesn't want to know what's known. Yeah. It doesn't. It's got a big stubborn program about it. So we used to, when we were more helpful to people and people would call me about their relationships, I would say, just stop for a second and just ask yourself, what is it you know that you don't want to know? Yeah. So most of them knew that it wasn't probably right how it was going, but they didn't want to know it because they had it was nice, she has money or whatever. So there's always some shit going on. But there's not a lack of knowing. It's just that there's a whole lot of not wanting to know stuff. Yeah. So, all right. Annette, nice to see you. Annette's in a dark retreat.
Good to see you, Paul.
Nice, thank you. And Darshan is in a mid. He's between a dark and a light retreat. There you
Yeah,
go.
can I say something really quick, Paul?
Yeah, sure.
I was wondering, so I don't know how many books you have, but I was wondering, have you written a book that's kind of very clearly pointing out like the spiritual warnings? Because I feel like your message is super helpful to anyone who kind of like started going down the path of spirituality. And I don't think I've heard it anywhere else that it's like, if you don't see this, you're looking from it. And kind of like, it's not the message that's as important as the warning. And it's
Yeah,
kind of like, it's almost like everywhere you go is kind of like, as soon as you hear a message, the head's just going to claim it. That's just what it does. It's not personal. And I
no,
feel like that's like one of the most beautiful things that I've kind of gleaned from being here is kind of just like, it's not personal, you know? Like, I think that's like one of the most beautiful things you could really hammer on because it's kind of like the shame of being the doer, the shame of feeling that you had some type of responsibility that you need to undo is kind of like adds so much heaviness to like literally anything you do in life, you know? And so like I feel like it's such a beautiful thing that you should I mean, there's so many ways that I think this satsang is beautiful, but I feel like you literally just having a book that hammers like, hey, like it's not about if your practices are good or bad, like it's really important to have a clear understanding that the nature of mind is just going to be claiming and it's not a personal thing. So like I think I read your like Escape from Everywhere book, but do you have a book that kind of like hits that?
I think the newest one, I guess. I don't know. I don't read them, but
Yeah, I
third
haven't read in
one-
a while too, but
the third one called On Having Never Left probably gets more defined. The first one was someone else wrote it, uh, and and he wanted to capture uh, how it sounded in his head when he heard satsang, and so I let that went fine. And then the second one was the AA thing, which I wanted to do that. And then the third one was on having never left, and that probably would have more of if you don't see this, you're looking from it. Yeah,
Hmm.
but pretty much every bit has, it's always has that, because the sense of you, there's a sense of you that's looking to catch the sense of you. You can't, it's not
Yeah.
gonna, you can't do it. You're both
Yeah.
you're both lagging.
Yeah. It's like what you say, the great wisdom of no escape, right? It's like it's
Yeah.
hallelujah. There's two different reactions. There's one reaction, I'm never gonna get it, and life, like everything's terrible, but then there's another reaction that you're never gonna get it, and it's like hallelujah.
Yes, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
I
I'm just
would go
singing
with
from
the
the choir
latter.
at this point, but like I think like a book that highlights that could be helpful because like I know you're kind of like very not outcome dependent and it makes sense, but like I don't know,
Right.
I literally have not heard like the clarity on that aspect anywhere else, like literally anywhere else. And I feel like it's really beautiful when like you take time and space out of the equation, or like like how like a message can feel like if someone's sharing from the head's perspective, it can almost like imply like I'm here and like you need to get here by doing this. I feel like this satsang is a beautiful example of taking like all of that out of the equation. It's like boom, you could never be anywhere else. You're here now. And it's kind of like that kind of message. Like it's kind of like I think you said this before. It's like non-duality kind of brings everything else out of the weeds. And so it's like you can face the facts of reality when it's not you. But when it's you trying to like make things better, then it's just like it's not it makes sense that everything would be hidden and you're just like, oh well, everything's terrible, but like I don't know why, but it's like I feel like the message of non-duality is kind of, not only is it like a soothing bomb, but it's like the truth bomb at the same time. It's like a double whammy, like two-sided, like bam, bam. So I don't know, like, yeah, just a thought.
Oh, that's good. Thank you. I don't think I need to say anything on that. Yeah, go. Yeah. Well, I tell you, bro, I can't we say it all the time. I mean, we've done the best we can.
Yeah.
You could start and stop at you if you don't see this, you're going to be looking from it. That's a simple statement. It has a lot in there. Yeah. So obviously, you could be looking from it, trying to see it. And so that's why, and you're going to be the one that gets caught coming out of the weeds, literally. That's the thing. And you're going to be negated like you try to negate thoughts and everything like that. Yes. So, yep. That's great. Nice. Thank you for that share. Very nice.
Yeah, I hope you and Amelia are well, and happy February to everybody in Zen Bitch Slap.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Happy February. Yes. You can be our monthly greeter now. Happy. You're a little late, but we'll take it. Yeah. It's a new position. So you'll hit it March 1st. You'll hit Happy March. All right.
Yes, sir.
All
Thank you,
right.
Paul.
Thank you. Bye bye. All right. Thanks. Well, Carrie, everyone, Kathleen, fantastic. Yeah. You get the drift of that statement. Yeah. If you don't see it, you're looking from it. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. All right. I'll leave you with that. We'll be here tomorrow, I hope. Who knows what's going to happen, but we're scheduled for 10:30 Pacific time. And what I love to do is speak uninterrupted in AA recovery. All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank
Thanks,
you,
everyone.
Paul.
Thank you.
Paul. Thanks,
Thank you,
Kathleen.
Paul.
Yeah.
Thanks, Kathleen. Bye, everyone.